Just so everyone is properly informed, we'd start with the situation with our license cards. The last public bidding held for the supply of our driver's license cards was way back in the 80s. If I'm not mistaken, 1982 or 83, I believe. Since then, our driver's license card supplier has been extended on a yearly basis. The contract was extended on a yearly basis until sometime in 2006. So from 2006 until now, we do not have a contract with our driver's license card supplier. What happened was Department of Transportation and Communication, then DOTC, directed LTO in 2006 or 2007 to pay the supplier even without a contract on the basis of a quantum meruit arrangement. Meaning, since it has already delivered the cards, LTO is supposed to pay them based on the cards delivered. So September of 2013, the Commission on Audit disallowed our previous payments to the supplier, meaning the people who paid them are supposed to pay back to the government the payments to supplier. So since September 2013, we have not been paying our driver's license card supplier. That's the actual status. And that's a big reason why our supply right now is sporadic. Sometimes they're able to deliver, sometimes they're not. And if they're able to deliver, it's obviously not sufficient to cover our card requirements. So what have we done then? Last May 20, the DOTC conducted a bidding for the supply of LTO driver's license cards. 4 bidders submitted their bids. 1 got disqualified. Basically, it's their failure to comply with technical requirements. The three other bidders submitted their bids. We opened their bids, and we are now, DOTC in general, in particular the technical working group of the Bids and Awards Committee, is currently conducting post-qualification on the one that submitted the lowest bid. Just to give you some perspective, previously without the contract, we were paying our supplier anywhere from 125 to 150 pesos per card. Based on the lowest bid submitted, it's somewhere around 68 pesos per card. So hopefully we're able to conclude the bidding process and finally have a contracted supplier of driver's license cards. Based on our contract terms, they're supposed to deliver and roll out everything within 30 days from the time the DOTC issues a notice to proceed. No, we already issued several advisories. We're quite aware that we have a shortage of cards itself. That's why we issued an advisory removing the validity of our temporary driver's license. It's actually a paper, but all the details are there. Essentially, aside from being a paper instead of a card, it serves the purpose of being a proof that you are authorized to operate a motor vehicle. As I explained a while ago, this is a supplier without a contract since 2006. Aside from that, the Commission on Audit disallowed our payments to the supplier. So as an agency of government, our hands are actually tied. We want the services to continue, but how can we continue without paying the supplier when COA has disallowed our payments? So the next question is, why don't you change the supplier? Well, we have attempted to change the supplier several times. In 2010, during the first year of this administration, there was an attempt to bid it out. Unfortunately, the court issued an injunction against the bidding. In 2012, when this government was again able to have the injunction lifted, we attempted to bid it out again, but again the court also enjoined it for the second time. That's why it was only on May 20 when we have been able to successfully at least open the bids. We don't know yet. There is another pending application to enjoin the bid. I don't know, I guess that answers the question of what prevents us from providing these services. That one I'm very concerned about. The main problem essentially is that the process of issuance of driver's licenses, including the exams that we require, are basically manual. We require the driver to go there and take his car or get a car that's available somewhere in the vicinity and drive the car around. We supposedly have an instructor that evaluates whether or not that person knows how to drive. You know, in any manual process, there will always be the risk of corruption. We are more than 200 offices nationwide. So what we want to do is find a way, number one, ensuring that the driver's license applicant actually goes to an LTO office, and number two, that he actually takes and passes the exam. We have issued requests for information to the public. I think this was last year. We are looking at all the options available to us on how to improve our processes. This one, admittedly, we are lagging behind in terms of reform within the agency. And this will be a reform that some people will not be too happy about. But we're looking at all our options, including psychological exams. But when you look at the driver's licensing issuance processes nationwide, it's essentially manual. So we're trying to copy those jurisdictions who have more or less adopted a more or less automated way of conducting the exam. So we're looking at that too. We're looking at requiring applicants to go to driving schools first, like what is being done in other countries. But again, the main problem, I guess, is cultural. When you talk to every Filipino, they feel that it's a right for them to be issued a driver's license. That one we're trying to change also. But again, for me, until we're able to find a way of ensuring that these people actually go there and take the exams and pass the exams, there's always a risk of corruption, and I'm sure the corruption will always happen. I'm as frustrated as you are with how slow it takes for everything in government to work. We're trying to do everything as soon as we can.